Miyem is very angry this morning, and he has reason to be angry. Wanted to mention mental health, but there is something more pressing. Nigerian athletes, 10 Nigerian athletes were disqualified for not taking pre-tournament doping test. Now, this is an Olympics that has been 5 years. Normally, it should be 4 years, but this is 5 years in the offing, and 10 athletes. Did we take up to 30? 29? How many athletes did we take?
20.
20
athletes.
We didn't even take up to 30, and then that's half of the team.
Of the athletes.
How did this happen?
That's the big question, we should ask ourselves. And I think the Nigerian athletes are going through something far worse than what you would call mental toughness, at this stage. You want to ask yourself this question, and the rules are there. Nigeria is placed in Category A. Category A says that your athletes must go through the OCT at least 3 times.
3 times.
Before a major tournament like the Tokyo Olympic Games.
That in 3 times in 6 months.
In 6 months.
Yes.
Let's say 10 months.
10 months,
before,
okay. Before the games.
And back home in Nigeria, we need to call a spade a spade. There was so much infighting, power tussle between who becomes the AFN president. The athletes, were forgotten.
They were.
These are the major actors of the game. These are the major actors of the sport. In football, some days ago, we saw a Leon Balogun coming out to say, I don't care if I'm banned by the Nigerian Football Federation, but we are being owed months of salaries. And this is a federation that at some point in time is saying the NFF should be independent. They don't want interference. They don't want money from the federal government anymore that they can source for their own funds. FIFA gave them palliatives.
They have.
So
we know that
players are still being owed. But
we
that's
know
another
that.
topic entirely. Let's focus on what is happening in Tokyo. 20 athletes, 10 of them disqualified without competing. They didn't go through the OCT test before the games. And nobody's taking the blame.
What are they? My point is that what are the officials? What
what
are they doing? If you have 4 or 5 years, what is your work administratively?
Before the games, there were 2 parallel federations, so to say.
Yes, we know that there has been that squabble.
One got a Puma kit deal worth millions of US dollars. And that was the bone of contention. Till the trials that took place in Lagos. And you could see the results in Tokyo. It's an embarrassment. It's a shame that a country like Nigeria with a population of close to 200 million cannot just take care of this primary school error.
But you know
what happens? The test. It is not the fault of the athletes. What is required? Even these athletes don't know that they will qualify for these games. Now, it took some events that were organized in Lagos at the Yaba Tech Stadium and also the Tesla Balogun Stadium organized by the Lagos State government for them to indeed qualify for the Olympics. Now, within that period, the federation should have made these athletes available
for tests.
Because the big athletes like Blessing Okagbare, they go for meets. So it is easier for the World Athletics to locate these athletes and say, okay, come for your test. But for those you are still bringing up and all that they don't know, it is your responsibility to tell them, oh, Mike is representing Nigeria. Mike is the latest kid on the block.
I was about to also mention that.
It's a shame.
Yes, it's a big shame. I was about to also mention that these athletes, knowing the kind of country they come from, they should have done this test themselves. But I got to understand that, look, these tests are supposed to be unplanned.
You can't just
go for the test.
You can't just go yourself.
The test, yes. The tests have to be impromptu.
It has to be impromptu.
That's what I know.
When you're not even the likes of Usain Bolt, that can be easily called upon and be easily told.
So they just come there and just take the test.
Sometimes they even tell you ahead, okay, we're coming. Make yourself available. So when you don't make yourself available, they now tell you, okay, you are avoiding us, we call this also time and all that. But this should have been done.
So,
millions of naira
it is a steady discussion calling out the ineptitude, the mediocrity that is inherent in our sporting sector.
What it shows is that it is evident and obvious that we are yet to scratch the business surface when it comes to sports in
But actually,
Nigeria.
we are scratching
It's
it.
seen as recreation.
We are scratching it. But you see, like you said, somebody got a deal worth millions. The infighting, the greed. We are scratching it. We know how to do this business. But you see, rather, the greed
I've been talking to some athletes
is
in
what
Tokyo.
is the problem.
I've been talking to some athletes in Tokyo. The news there is embarrassing.
It is.
In fact, you see, athletes were given headphones and all that. They didn't give it to them. You know, and the athletes are complaining that why should you all this thing from us?
They should go and buy
I don't get it.
They should go and buy earpiece from
I
them.
don't get it. It's alarming. Why? How long will we continue this way?
I was about to apologize for laughing, but no, I am not going to apologize.
No,
It is
you
laughable.
Need to,
It is
in a way whereby you know
is,
you can get over all these embarrasses. See, the thing is this: as a journalist, Leon Balogun, for example, said we've been owed for months. We've not been paid by the Nigerian Football Federation. The federation was telling the president of the country to assent to the bill that the NFF should be independent because they get so much money. Also, you know, from FIFA.
They do.
So say they can survive on their own.
They do.
But yet you've not paid the players.
They do.
And the players who are the major actors are complaining. And for one of them to come out and have the boldness to say, if they don't invite me anymore, I don't care.
You know, just about
it speaks volume.
after Leon Balogun, Blessing Okabari went on a rant on Twitter where she called out the officials, she called out everybody. She said, we need, to paraphrase, she said, we need people who are sports people, who are interested, who are passionate about the game, not just administrators, someone that you just bring from nowhere, and because of a quota you want to give this person.
Because of this deal that was signed by it caused a lot of issues for these athletes in Tokyo. Some of them were wearing kits by this brand, some were wearing, so it's confusing.
So we have athletes.
Suffer the brunt.
We have athletes now with different brands, branding a country. How does that even happen? How does that even happen?
If the Super Eagles does not qualify for the World Cup, in most cases, what is a journalist looking for at the World Cup? It's so shameful today that the Nigerian national team, for example, a Nigerian-based journalist like me cannot tell the story of the Nigerian players because most of them were not developed here. So I would need to rely on the information given to me by a journalist based outside Nigeria, maybe in England or whatsoever, to tell me, oh, he grew up, you know, somewhere in Buckingham Palace, whichever way.
Miyem, I can understand your angst and the ire that this has caused.
24 basketballers based, you know, in America,
in the US,
representing also how many athletes from Nigeria represented the country when we're all picking for. So where is the preparation for 5 years? Are you expecting medals?
No, we'll pray for medals. No, we're going to pray.
Okay, the show is wake up.
And let's fast, yes.
We'll wake up.
Miyem! You have closed the show. We have to go. Miyem say, let's wake up. Let's wake up! I'm just like Tony now. I'm very pissed. This is entirely... we'll take this break now and we'll be right back after this.